Okay.
hiring for next year. And,
Oh, is that right?
yeah, I was just trying to get into that. I saw that Tony Gill has an opinion. I've heard the substance of it, but I haven't actually brought it.
There's a conclusion, there's no substance.
But it's
Have you
like
seen
an
the
advisory
opinion?
No, I haven't downloaded it yet. Well, I did it when it first came out. That was a while ago. Right?
Sure, I just got a copy. Shoot an email. It's, he says that, it's kind of one of those, 61
We ready?
campuses.
Want me to call roll?
That,
Yeah. Yeah.
a teacher can
Lisa,
waive
are you
that,
ready?
but school districts can't require it.
She's ready.
I'd like to call to order the November 19th, 2013 special meeting of the Boulder Valley School District Board of Education. Sandy, will you call the roll?
Albright? Here. Belville? Here. Benford? Here. Fuqua?
Here.
Marquis?
Here.
Myers?
Here.
Reed?
Here. The first item on our agenda is election of officers. We will be starting with the office of president. The president will call for nominations, and board members can either nominate another member or self-nominate. A nomination does not require a second. Each candidate will be given an opportunity to make a short presentation in support of his or her candidacy. Note, both the president and vice president must be elected by a majority vote of the board. If there are 3 candidates and no one receives a majority of votes, the board will continue voting until an impasse is resolved, rather than eliminating any nominee who received the fewest votes. So with that, I will open up the nominations for president. Lori?
I'd like to run and nominate myself.
Thank you, Lori. Are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate myself.
Thank you, Tom. Any further nominations? Seeing none, we'll proceed to the presentation in support of your candidacies. We'll go in order of the roll call votes. So, Lori, you will be first.
Thanks. Well, I've written a letter to all of our board members explaining what some of my thoughts are about the role of a president. I think it's really important to have solid leadership. I think it's real important that we collaborate and we work together, that we work as a team, that we use our individual skills and knowledge and abilities to really lead this district and to provide direction to staff. Looking ahead, we've got a lot of really critical issues that I think I can contribute to. I think we've got issues with the legislative session that's coming up, and I think we'll need to keep a real close eye on how things go at the legislature and what we can do to influence some of those outcomes. I also believe we'll have a campaign this year. It's likely that we will, a bond campaign, and I have some experience with campaigns. I've got time to devote to this work. I would like the opportunity to be your leader, to be the president of the board. After 6 years, I think I'm ready to go now that Jim's stepping down. I think we're a terrific team, and I'd like to really finish by saying I think it's real important that we focus on academic achievement with our kids. So that's what I would respectfully request your vote and support. Thank you.
Lori. Tom?
Thanks for considering me for this position. As you know, I've been on the board 4 years and served the last couple of years as treasurer. Also have been the liaison to the DAC. So talking about the things we've got in front of us here, obviously financial issues are always a concern with the potential bond coming up and SIPC working. I think my experience working with the finances, working with the CFO, understanding where we are, and also being present during our last bond implementation will help in that regard. I also, as I stated in my letter, and you saw, have a passion for the strategic plan. I have seen that in action in my business. When I first came to the school district and was elected, I said, "Where's the strategic plan?" And the answer I got, "We don't have one." And so ever since that time, over the last a little over 4 years now, I've been working to try to get acceptance of using this as a means of moving us forward in a very thoughtful way, in a very scheduled way, in a data-driven way, so that we can actually monitor our progress and see where we're hitting the mark or not hitting the mark, and then actually make course corrections. So having my experience working with strategic plans and operational plans, I think I'm a very good choice for this position, because the president was going to have to be a leader in this role and lead the strategic planning process, make sure that we bring it all together. It's very involved in the school district, a lot of things to consider. But I believe it's very, very important. And in fact, the future of our school district, I believe, resides on that, because that is how we accomplish our goals. And so that's what I would commit to do as president. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. So the nominations are closed. The vote will be taken by secret ballot as allowed by law. Sandy has arranged slips of paper for the board members. One's labeled president and one's labeled vice president. We have board legal counsel here tonight who will collect your ballots after you've written the name, and he will total them up and provide us the name of the next president. I do want to note that it has been an honor and privilege to serve with you for the past 2 years and serve as your president. And I am thankful for the opportunity to have someone else do it for the next 2 years, and I wish them luck and stand ready to support who is elected. So with that, write the name on the ballot, and Stu. Thank you. So I'll announce the name. The next president is Lori Albright. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you for your support, and let's move on to the next item so we can adjourn. Have this be the shortest meeting of the year, maybe. The next item of business is the election of vice president. Are there any nominations for vice president? Jenny?
I'd like to serve as vice president, so I nominate myself.
Thank you. Are there other nominations? Then nominations are closed. We now have an opportunity to either have a secret ballot or to have a roll call vote, since there is but one nominee. So if there are no objections, let's have a roll call vote. Any objections, board members? No? Okay, Sandy, will you call the roll?
Yes, so voting for vice president.
Voting for vice president for Jenny Belville.
Albright,
Yes.
Belleville,
Yes.
Benford,
Yes.
Fuqua,
Yes.
Marquis,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Jenny is the new vice president.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You didn't even have to give a speech. So,
I might corner somebody later and just deliver it. but-
yeah. Okay. The next item of business will be a motion for the appointment of the treasurer and assistant treasurer. The treasurer is a member of the board, and the assistant treasurer is usually a staff member, and this year it would be, Leslie Stafford will be the assistant treasurer. Are there any nominations for treasurer? Jenny?
I'd like to nominate Shelley Benford.
Shelley's been nominated? Are there other nominations? Seeing none, and this needs to be a voice vote. So Sandy, will you please call the roll nominating or appointing Shelley Benford to be treasurer of the school board?
Okay. Albright,
Yes.
Belleville,
Yes.
Benford, Fuqua,
Yes.
Marquis,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Did I miss the assistant treasurer in the motion? Is there a motion for Leslie Stafford to be the assistant treasurer of the board? Shelley?
Second.
Second. Jim? All in favor? Oh, do we need a roll call vote for that too? Okay, sorry, thanks, I'm learning.
Albright,
Yes.
Belleville,
Yes.
Benford, Fuqua,
Yes.
Marquis,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations, Leslie. Now, we need to have a motion for the appointment of the secretary and assistant secretary. And the secretary will be Sandra Eicher, and the assistant secretary will be Christine Buckholz and Shauna Rendon. We need to have a vote taken by roll call. Sandy, will you please call the roll? Sorry? Motion? Sam? Tom? Second? All in favor, Sandy?
Albright,
Yes.
Belleville,
Yes.
Benford, Fuqua,
Yep.
Marquis,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Thank you, and congratulations to you, too. The next item is a resolution for use of the facsimile signature. We need a motion to approve the resolution that is on the table in front of us, authorizing the use of the treasurer's facsimile signature and to obtain surety bonds for those authorized to use the facsimile. We need a motion. Would someone like to make this motion? It would entail reading this.
I'll read it.
Jenny?
Well, Sam is welcome to, but I'm right next to him.
Okay.
Oh, is that on? Okay. I move approval of Resolution 1318 in the
Yes,
form
today?
before the board, authorizing the use of the facsimile signature of the treasurer of the board and directing the purchase of surety bonds for the treasurer, assistant treasurer, secretary, and assistant secretary.
Do we need a second for this? Shelley? Second? Thank you. Sandy, will you please call the roll?
Albright,
Yes?
Belleville,
Yes.
Benford, Fuqua.
Yes.
Marquis.
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
One other item of business we need is an affidavit concerning awareness of and compliance with confidentiality of executive sessions. Sandy, you have a form that each of us needs to sign, and that is to address the issues of confidentiality in executive session. So thank you. Just a signature. I think this is new, isn't it? I don't remember doing this before. Okay.
times on here, give some space in between.
Can I do this later?
And then I need to also have you sign the resolution.
Question? So just out of curiosity's sake, is there anything about the confidentiality requirements for executive session besides just that what happens in executive session is confidential that we need to know?
So
Bruce?
maintaining confidentiality, that's what you just signed. Is there anything else? I guess I don't understand what you're asking, Jenny.
So is there any,
Take
is there any,
action.
is there any more to the requirements that we're acknowledging we're familiar with than just that? Or, I mean, what is it exactly we're acknowledging we're familiar with?
That confidential information remain confidential.
I can send you, there's a statutory site in there, and I can send you that statute.
Okay, but is that basically it? Okay. I just was curious if there was anything else,
Then,
so.
of course, any action you would take would be public after that.
Yeah.
Sandy, are we taking care of the paperwork? Okay. Before we adjourn, I would like to say thank you again for your confidence and support in me. I have big footsteps or shoes to fill. And I think that anyone who has served with Jim as long as I have, which is 6 years, more than anyone else here on this board, knows what an incredible job he has done for our school district, for our board, working with our staff, and always keeping in mind what kids need, what happens in the classroom, and what happens with children. So, Jim, I would like to thank you for your leadership and for the fine example that you've set and the high standards that I'm going to have to follow. I'm calling you. I know your phone number. But on behalf of the board, here's and the district, here's a little sign of appreciation. So thank you for your board service and being president, and look forward to another 2 years. So, thank you.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you, board members. It really has been a privilege. Thanks. Chadwick moment.
A Chadwick moment, he said. Yeah, right. We all know what that means. Yeah, tears. Okay, any other business for today? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Tina? Jenny? All in favor? Sam? Yes, we're adjourned.